In today's video, Twomad's name is possibly cleared by a 13-year-old he allegedly preyed on. Mr. Beast has started a brand new Amazon game show which could be the biggest in history, and also Dan Schneider is getting absolutely destroyed. So the 13-year-old that Twomad allegedly preyed on and groomed, according to Jamesky, is actually coming out denying these claims and defending Twomad. But hi, I'm the 13-year-old, now 14-year-old, but whatever. I'm just here to say that Twomad was not a pedophile, nor did he groom me. I've been locked up in a psych ward for the past few months and only very recently got out. This is why I haven't said anything. Twomad never made any inappropriate advances towards me at any time during our friendship. He was a close friend to me, and his death has hit me really hard. Please stop referring to me as evidence that he was a pedo. I honestly don't know about the attempted murder and other stuff, so I won't comment on that. But due to the fact I have been the main reason that Twomad has been labelled as a pedophile, I feel that I should address it. Jamesky is lying about me. These are honestly really big claims that the person that is being used to label Twomad as a child enjoyer and a groomer has actually come out saying that, you know, he's never done anything. And people are now using this as one of the other reasons to say that Jamesky is a complete and utter liar.
And, I would do everything that I could to make sure that everyone had a good experience.
Recently, a documentary called Quiet on Set was released, which detailed what happened behind the scenes at Nickelodeon from the early 90s to the early 2000s. And its main focal point was a lot of people employed during that time and Dan Schneider, and the abuse that people suffered at his hand, which includes horrific innuendos performed by kids, and it's just disturbing, it's disgusting, and the documentary is really interesting and a good watch, and I'd highly recommend it. But Dan Schneider has responded to a lot of these claims in an interview on his YouTube channel.
A lot of things to unpack, but before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult, me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret, and I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
The majority of this response isn't actually owning up to his actions, it is just sorry that you felt that way and I wouldn't do it today. And it's a very telling apology. He doesn't mention a lot of the weird stuff that happened on set and that he was called out for, just mentioning the stuff that is a bit more tame. Still not good. Of course, there's a lot more to this documentary, including the experiences that Drake Bell suffered, which he spoke about in this documentary. It's a good watch. It should definitely be watched. It's an eye-opener for anybody that watched Nickelodeon during that period.
And I'm going to try to make the most huge streaming show in history.
Recently, Mr. Beast went to social media to announce a big game show he's working on. Big news, gamers! I'm going to be filming the largest game show in history and releasing it on Prime Video. Over 1,000 contestants, $5 million in prizes, and many other world records. I'll reveal more later this year, but let's just say it's going to be an insane show. He also announces on a podcast he did, which it's mind-blowing, honestly.
I know it all now, but yeah, there's a reason we went with Amazon. They're awesome. I love you guys. And I'm going to try to make the most huge streaming show in history.
I do want to get into negotiation at some point.
Yeah.
But first,
That's a great hook. Keep watching.
what's the name of the show?
Beast Games.
Okay.
Right. I think it fits it perfectly. It's going to be, wow. This will be the first time anyone hears it. It's going to be the largest game show in history with the most contestants any game show's ever had, with the largest cash prize in history. That I'll probably reveal later, but you can imagine what the cash prize was on Squid Game. And it's higher than that. So
honestly, I feel like this is a really exciting step forward for YouTubers. Managing to get an Amazon show and doing a massive gaming show sounds exciting and will be very interesting. This is some more positive news which I actually enjoy covering, and I can't wait to see this game show. Hopefully it's really good.
I think that he has stuff to say that he will. I don't know exactly what it will be.
Recently, there were allegations made that at a Dream concert, somebody was sexually assaulted. Now, a lot of people were calling it out because it was framed in a way that it made like it was seeming that Dream was being held accountable for this, seeing as it was his concert. And I'll be getting into the allegations right now. SA, my experience at Dream's concert. At Dream's last concert, 27th of September 2023, I was sexually assaulted. 2 blocks from the venue, I got catcalled, and all day after I was self-conscious about my outfit. I debated buying a jacket to cover up, but I thought it'd be fine. It's not like anything would happen to me in a group that loves safety and positivity. The venue was super crowded, barely any personal space. I tried to stay back, but ended up in a sea of people so deep I couldn't leave unless I pushed my way out. I tried to distract myself from how overwhelming it was by hyper-focusing on my filming. Especially for a song that I really loved at the time, it was loud and bright and still very crowded, so I didn't notice the stranger behind me moving closer, not till I felt a hand touch my hip. The only thing so far I would say about this is that just sounds like a concert, a lot of people and it's crowded. I was weird recording and didn't want to unpack what was happening, so I just kept filming. I tried to convince myself it was accidental, but after a bit I felt more, this time painful and only getting worse. I looked down and what I saw was their hand in the dark glow on my hip. Then I couldn't quite breathe, but I was frozen in place and they just kept touching me. I'm not comfortable sharing the rest. Sometime after the song ended, dissociated, I noticed an open space ahead of me. I stepped forward, the movement jolted their hand off me, after that the stranger stayed gone. From that point I was on autopilot, numb and dissociating worse. I managed to cut the video to post, hoping I got all of the bad parts, and film the next song. My hands were shaking, but I really didn't want to process it, so I pretended I was fine. Eventually the show was over and I called an Uber. I barely managed to drag myself in, trying to convince myself I was shaking from the cold and not from fear. It was a mix of both, but I knew damn well I couldn't hide forever. My driver even checked on me because I shook so badly my chief chattered. The whole time it just wanted to get home and scrub my skin raw to get the phantom hands off me. I was gifted a cat beanie while queuing and I clung onto it for the whole drive to ground myself. Thank you, kind stranger. Then I was home and I shattered. I took the night to crack and scream and cry and delete the footage to wipe it from my life. To be frank, I didn't want to share this. I don't want to pity or to stay haunted by this. I just have one message. Supporting victims means all victims. I'm so disgusted by the takes I've seen lately, twisting the definition of consent to invalidate victim stories. Saying a victim should have done more to stop her own assault. Saying a victim is lucky to be assaulted rather than raped. Even Dream's Reddit post is sickening that he has too been dismissive of their say when it can happen 30 feet from his fucking stage. Beg you all support victims, not just the ones you agree with or the ones who accuse people you don't like, all of us. It shouldn't take graphic details or a secondary confirmation just for you to conjure a shred of empathy. All we ask is to be heard when we are so brave to speak. Listen. Then a lot of people started attacking this person because it felt like they were using Dream's name and trying to accuse Dream instead of just telling their story. Especially in the last slide where they say it happened 30 fucking feet from Dream's stage. This has nothing to do with Dream. I'm sorry this happened to you, but don't attach his name just to slander him. You're not helping victims come forward by doing this. It's his event. That's not slander, that's a fact. Jumping to defend your favourite boy from imaginary harm just dismisses my story. Then why put a lot of the focus on him? This was a fan, not Dream. As I said, he was on stage, he could not have done this. I named Dream's concert to give context, not to claim he was responsible in any way. I watched him since 2019, I do not intend to drag his name. It was not just my hip, I was groped in a much more violating way, context clues. Deleted videos was off stage, not the assault. If I had proof, trust I'd be in court, not online. Why did I push them off / call for help, etc. There's many things I could have done, but I didn't. That doesn't make me any less of a victim. Don't owe you more details, I've shared all that I'm comfortable with, I will not beg to be believed. Honestly, you can take from what you want from this, but what I take from this is that a lot of people have just been using others' names at the moment in their own allegation stories to build up more attention towards it. Especially with all of the allegations, true and false, coming out over the past week, it seems like that's what it's been cultivated. Realistically, there was no such reason to really put a lot of emphasis on Dream there, so again, you can see why people are a bit suspicious and calling it out.
Yes, I know he lives in the UK and age of consent over there is 16, but I don't give a fuck about some stupid laws.
So the game Cards Against Humanity, which is known for its dark humor, horrific jokes against everyone and anything, has been called out for making a Palestine joke. I'm not kidding, the game that is literally branded as a game for bad people and dark humor is being called out for bad people and dark humor. You can't make this up. I feel like this maybe is a bit too sensitive for some people, so let's move on and let's conclude the video. Thank you everyone for watching the 3rd episode of Samuel's Spurgler Saturday. I hope everyone did enjoy, and if you did, please consider smashing a like and leaving a subscribe. But I've been your host Samuel, and I will catch you in the next video.